I think end of the day, no matter where you are, it's the relationships that matter, and you never know how those relationships can be something else in the future. I mean, not to be user sounding, but like eventually you can help other people and they can help you, right?
Welcome to Hustle Share, the podcast that features the daily grinds of unique hustlers around the world to show not our differences, but that our hustles are very much alike. Now here's your host, Ronster Bae-pyong.
Welcome to episode 14 of the Hustle Share podcast. My name is Ronster, and I am your host. And this episode is brought to you by Payroll Hero, a time, attendance, scheduling, HR, and payroll solution for Philippine companies. If you are new to this podcast, welcome. This podcast is about sharing your hustle, obviously, but the goal of this podcast is not to differentiate what we actually have against each other, but to show the similarities of how we can improve our hustle by listening to other hustlers. But before we start, I'd like to give you a heads up that this podcast has explicit language, so if you're around kids or anything that's safe for work, please do turn on the volume or use a headset so that you don't get in trouble. But let's begin, because we've been rather lucky lately because we've been able to feature really good hustlers lately. But this one is quite exceptional because lately Forbes Magazine just launched their new 30 under 30 list. And today we'll be talking to one person that made it into that very exclusive and prestigious list. And that's none other than Georgianna Carlos, the founder and CEO of Fetch Naturals. And in this episode, she's going to tell us what it took for her to make it to the list. Before that, she's going to talk about the beginning of her journey, how she hustled as a guidance counselor, how she went through a very crazy schedule in an ad agency, and how she started her very first startup. And then after that, she's also going to discuss her current grind and how she came up with creating Fetch out of her love for dogs. And we're going to talk about how she grew that from literally 0 to having 30 locations worldwide. And most importantly, we are going to talk about how she made it to the 30 under 30 Forbes list this year. So she will discuss what it took for her to actually get nominated, be shortlisted, and how she felt like when it was announced. So if you're ready to learn from her hustle, let's begin this episode right now. Welcome to episode 14 of the Hustle Share podcast. We are with someone who's very prestigious. I mean, this just literally came. I asked her if I can interview her a night before this current recording is happening. And I'm so lucky because she made time and she had time for this. Because after this recording, it's going to be a totally different ball game. You're going to be everywhere. Everybody's going to be on you. Mainstream media. But I'll just say it now that we got here first.
Yes,
okay. So again, we'd like to welcome Georgianna Carlos.
Hi, thank
you
for
latest
having me.
Winner, or the latest what do you call it? Inductee.
I guess inductee, right?
In the Forbes Asia 30 under 30 2019. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And thank you for contacting me right away. Yeah, smart move. People were still like, oh my God, you made it. You're like, can I meet you tomorrow?
No, because people need to hear it right now. Because, I feel like it's important that for people, not just to see that, you're 30 under 30. Mm-hmm. But what did it take for you to get to the 30 under 30? So that people can like, what? I mean, it's not easy. Fuck it. No, not easy. I don't even know. And that's what we're going to be talking about. Like, how does one get to 30 under 30? What if you're 31?
Time machine.
There you go. Right? You're like the Hustle Share time machine. Mm-hmm. But, what we want to discuss is, what's your grind like? What was your hustle like prior to you being on 30 under 30? Because, as you said, you were very low-key. Right? But I've known you for a while. You've been through Geeks on the Beach.
I think that's where I met you. Right. Geeks on the Beach last 2014,
yes,
2015.
Cebu or Boracay.
Boracay.
That was crazy. a lot of people, right. But George, before we get too carried away, just tell our listeners or our hustlers who's listening to the show, what's your hustle?
Sure. So right now, I am the owner and founder of Fetch Naturals. We
Fetch
are known
Naturals.
to create premium natural products made out of local produce, and
Okay.
we're really are. I guess why we stand out is we're the
Okay.
first in the country to create products out of pure neem and jicama extract.
Wow.
For those who don't know what jicama is,
Okay.
it's singkamas in Tagalog.
Ah,
You know,
I was like, what is it, come on? Like, it was
They're like,
yeah.
what's that fancy sounding
Right,
word?
right.
Guys, it's just the international name
Wow,
for
I did not
singkamas.
know this.
Yeah,
Wow.
so we're the first in the market, and we're
Okay.
actually the first local brand that's FDA registered.
Wow,
for
so
pet
it's
care.
legit. It's not just a fly-by-night whoever
Yeah.
created this on the store. So with Fetch, other than that, you also have another startup too, right?
Yes,
Which
yes.
is MyOffice.
Yes, MyOffice Philippines. We are a virtual office and shared space,
Okay.
but we really focus or cater to entrepreneurs who are embracing the mobile work style. You know, they
Yes.
don't go to the office every day.
Yep.
They either work from home or they're always on the road. Right now, we have 3 locations: 2 in Makati, 1 in BGC, and last I checked, we have almost 600 company members.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's great, and we have all types of clients, from your traditional SMEs who are
Right.
distributors. We have lawyers.
Right.
We have some fintech as well. So it's a fun bunch. You know, it's a very diverse community.
Absolutely. And again, if you just heard that, that kind of makes her, now we know why she made it on the fucking list. Right? It's not an accident like, oh, why is this judge person getting in the fucking... She hustled her way to
I
this. But
hustled my way, and I have a very cute dog in the photo. Which
there you go. The dog. What's the name of your dog? Let's do a shout out to your dog.
Yes, we will. He's a white Bichon, and his
Bichon?
name is Cal Drogo.
Cal Drogo.
Yep.
Wow. There's rumors that he's gonna reanimate
Yeah.
again in this season. But Cal
He's
Drogo.
gonna make a cameo.
There you go. Jason Momoa as Khal Drogo.
Mm-hmm.
But before we start that, as I've told you, we have this time machine here.
Okay.
George, let's just track back a little bit, because technically you're 28. Still very young, but not too young.
Yes, I'm almost there in the
But
30.
you're under 30 still, so
Yeah, yeah.
you're well.
I'm turning 29 in a few weeks, actually. So this is really like, I
There
think,
it
my
is.
last. It was my last chance to
Yes,
be
yes.
on the list.
Well, again, well deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But George, let's just walk us through. How did you start your journey? I mean, what was your early hustles that you did? Just give us a little bit of background on that, because I
Okay.
actually have no idea how you started. I met you in Geeks on the Beach.
Yeah, I was already doing my office.
Yeah, I was basically busy trying to put up the after party there, because that's what I always do anyway.
Yeah, that's how I met you in one of the after
Right,
parties.
and there's no legible conversation always
just
happening.
dancing
and Right.
dancing, drinking, and like, what were we doing last
Yeah,
night?
exactly. And then what the fuck just happened? And bad hangovers the day after. So George, well, how did you start your journey, or what was your early hustles into?
I
that,
mean, I think, background, I'm a psych major, but I really believe in the whole nature nurture thing.
Okay.
And my parents are entrepreneurs. So my dad he's already retired, but he started his own construction company, and
Wow.
he does low income housing for multiple governments and cities. And then my
Nice.
mom had multiple hustles.
Nice.
Right? So she was a distributor, she
Okay.
did stuff for like restaurants, etc.
Okay.
So I grew up with that
Yeah.
kind of
So you're
culture.
immersed in entrepreneurship from an early age.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then in college, I remember like
And you studied where?
I
Ateneo?
studied in Ateneo. I
Oh,
took up psychology.
okay, got it.
Yeah. And then in college, one Christmas, a friend of mine was supporting this community where
Okay.
there's this nanay who was making like bags.
Mm.
So I showed her a bag design that I liked from
Okay.
Chanel. Can you make a version like this?
Chanel.
But there's this,
Wow.
okay. Yeah,
Not
but
the Hawk bag.
No, but she would use like parang like
Right.
those recycled materials, and I just
Wow,
told her
yeah.
to like copy the style,
Right.
and then I would sell it for Christmas. I was like, oh, Christmas, I'm like 6,000 pesos richer as far as I'm concerned as a college kid.
Okay,
like,
yeah, that's a
money.
hustle. You know, I have a side story. I've never
Yeah.
told people, or if there were, I did like probably talks in school, because I always do this. Early in my days as well, there was 3 times in first year college where I lost 3 phones in 1 month.
Wow.
I was an idiot. I won't tell you what happened, but I was an idiot. I lost them for stupid mistakes. And then I asked my mom, "Mom, can I have money, I'd buy another phone. It's like, no, I
No.
have more money. You lost 3 phones in 1 month. What the
How
fuck are you
did you
thinking?
lose 3 phones in 1 month? I was the sad.
Puberty. Let's just blame it on puberty.
I was the sad child. My parents would never buy me a phone.
Yeah.
So like, while everyone had color phones, I had the 5110,
Dude.
where you can kill somebody if you like
yeah.
throw
It
it.
will.
like-
Yeah. If someone steals it, they'll return it back to you, all cleaned up. But for me, one of my early hustles as an entrepreneur to get a phone, and I wanted the nicer phones.
Mm-hmm.
I was an idiot. Again, I had to sell makeup for a good month. So whatever it is, lip shiner or whatever, mascara, name it, I had it. And then in 1 month, I was able to like sell 8,000 worth. It was good enough to buy a cheap second-hand phone in Green Hills.
Fun fact: did you
Yeah.
ever notice if you go to the restaurant's makeup
Yeah.
section, they're all men, mostly men who sell makeup and perfume to women.
Oh wow! Maybe I should, when I retire, I'll go.
Fun fact, check out
Wow.
why.
I bought makeup last year for my queen during her birthday, and it went viral. You know,
Oh.
yeah, because I bought like this Sunny's thing.
Oh,
and-
yeah,
And
yeah.
I became the Sunny's boyfriend, and we had just like 3,000 shares. I was just like trying to surprise her,
That's so cute though.
but that's for love. Shout out to my queen. But again, she sends her congratulations to you.
Thank you.
She's a
Regards
big
to
fan.
her, please.
Because she's also doing something in the natural space, but it's for beach essentials. And she wants to learn. And in this episode, that's why she's like, you go there and ask her how she did it because I want to learn.
Yeah,
Right.
and maybe while I still have time, we can maybe even collab, like,
There you
or
go.
something for the summer.
But this is gonna change. This is the last day when I get to see you as
You'll
George
never
that I
see me
know.
again.
Right? I'm like, holy crap, you're in a pedestal next time. Just kidding. All right, so George, after your foray into that in college,
Yeah.
did you do any other hustle before, or did you go to corporate first before you went straight to entrepreneurship?
Okay, so I took up psychology because the very first dream was to set up a school
Okay.
for kids with special needs. That's
Oh,
why I took up
wow.
psychology. So right after college, I was a guidance counselor in...
Guidance.
Yeah, right?
I'm your suke. I'm your suke.
Tell
in
me all your
guidance
problems, right?
No, I was being sent because I was an idiot. My professors would always complain about me.
So I was a guidance counselor
In Ateneo as well.
No, in Multiple Intelligence International School, right across Ateneo, but it's an international school. I was assigned to high school.
Oh man,
Which-
puberty.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy
Okay,
kids.
so I was 21, and then the
Oh,
seniors were
God.
18, right? So the age gap wasn't so big.
Yeah.
So it was fun, but
Pretty sure people would try to court you like, hi, man.
I think it was so hard for them to take me seriously because I kid you not, there were times like we're doing, let's say, a group activity, so we're all seated on the floor like in a
Right,
circle,
right.
and the principal would want to check up, and she's like, "Where's your teacher? Why are you guys here alone?" And I'm like raising my hand like, "Hi, I'm right here." Most of the kids are taller than me because they're like international students and stuff like that.
Wow.
And I'm like, "Hi, I'm right here," stuff
Right.
like that. But it was fun, but I realized that I love psychology, learning it more as a hobby. At the same time, I wasn't really good at it. I don't know if it was the age gap or things. It wasn't,
Right.
and, to be an educator, it's really a calling. Like, props
Absolutely.
to all educators out there. It is difficult to deal with different types of people,
True.
and not just the students, but even the parents, right?
True.
So it's crazy. So I left that. I went to PR and events.
Okay.
Just
There you go.
because
Shout out. I know this shit very well.
right?
Did that for 8 years.
I did agency life
Okay.
for 2.5 years. It was crazy. I learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely everything from writing, communications, organization, but the
Tight
stress
deadlines.
was really
Oh,
crazy.
man.
I was hospitalized twice during my
No
stay because of
way.
the stress. Yeah. I mean, it's not their fault that my immune system is really weak, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's the stress, it's the culture.
No, but I've
know?
seen so many people who are like tough by default
Yeah.
buckle into this type of industry.
So-
because it's not for everyone. But after
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this trend that after they went through the agency life.
It's like you can do anything. and
Yeah, like
everything.
if I can make it here, I can make it anywhere kind of
Exactly.
thing. Right?
I mean, I was pretty lucky. I was surrounded by a good group of people there.
Yeah.
My boss was amazing. She was
Okay.
a really good boss.
Okay.
But yeah, like my immune system just couldn't keep up with the agency life. But that's actually how I first learned about Idea Space because
shout out to
at-
Earl.
Yeah, no, because that was the year I think PLDT first did their Tech Island company, and I mean their program, and
Right.
Idea Space. I think it was year 1, and
Yeah.
my account was PLDT. I'm the one who wrote the press
wow.
releases, pitched to the
There
media.
you go, with Nick Will Waiko. That's
Yeah.
that's her, the PR queen of Smart. If you see any PR by Smart, it's Nick Will. Shout out Nick if you're
Yeah,
even
so I
listening to
was
this.
there for PLDT SME Nation
Okay.
and for Idea Space.
Okay.
And that was really like my first time to be like, what is this
Startup
startup,
thing, right,
you know?
right. So you had no
thing?
idea prior.
No,
Okay.
they were like, here are the materials.
Okay.
Write about it, you know.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, pitch to media. And I'm like, this is pretty interesting. So it was a combination of like physical stress, like my body was giving up on me, plus learning about that. I left and then MyOffice Philippines.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, how did the idea of MyOffice came about? Because I mean, you could have done so many other things, right? There's so many ideas to pursue, so many problems to solve. That's always the dilemma at first when you're at idea phase. What did you see in the virtual office space that you wanted to solve?
Okay, so MyOffice Philippines has the most interesting family story.
Okay.
So I will explain that.
Okay, let's do this.
MyOffice Philippines is actually quite old in a sense. It's been around since 2004.
Wow.
But that was because my mom started the company.
Okay.
And at that time there was only Regis and Serve Corp. So there
Yes.
was no
Yeah.
and my mom was a distributor. She needed an office, but most of her money would come in during Christmas time.
Yeah.
And then the secretary and the space is empty from January to like
Yeah,
August, you
yeah.
know? So she was spending money for an office space and a secretary.
Yeah.
The secretary's like just on the phone doing nothing from
Right,
those
right,
dead months.
right.
So she decided, I'll just share this office space with other people like me because when
Okay.
she went to Regis, it was too expensive for her.
True.
The people who were in Regis are like FedEx or I don't know, those big.
Dude, when you always look for office in X or the city,
Yeah.
they're always on the top. And I was like, nope, I cannot do that. You're charging top dollar. I'm not dissing Regis here. It's just that we can't
Yeah.
afford from a Filipino startup.
Exactly. I
point
mean,
of
Regis
view.
is great if you're another company coming into the Philippines.
Right.
It's all set up. But my mom's like, I'm only busy from like September onwards,
True.
right? And like, I can't
Three
afford.
quarters, right?
So she just started really sharing the space.
Okay.
So that's how the concept started of my office.
Subleasing, like a co-wo, a little bit.
Yeah, so she was like, she cut up the office space into multiple private rooms and
Nice.
just was leasing it. And then at that time when I came in at around 2015, 14,
Okay.
15, she was thinking of just retiring it because she was just like doing real estate.
Right,
and I'm
right.
like, no, there's this thing, like people are working through their phones now,
Right,
laptop.
right.
And I know there was co-working.
Yeah.
But instead of focusing on the space,
Mm-hmm.
what I did was I focused on the back and front office services that can support people while they're not in the space.
Got it.
So for example, like where did you come from and you're going to leave right after,
Right,
right?
right.
But our back office support can take care of all the admin stuff, whether it's
Yeah.
BIR.
The
saying
dirty
hi,
work that nobody
yeah.
wants to fucking do, to
And
be honest.
like when we get your mail, we're like, hey, you got this mail. Do you want us to scan and email it to you right now? So
Right.
you can work on it while you're in traffic. So that was really our focus. So we do have the physical space, but it's not like the main thing of my office.
Yeah,
so
you
I
do-
focused
yeah.
on that.
That is awesome. Now, George, let's take a quick break. And
Sure.
After, we'll be discussing how now Fetch was born, right?
Yes.
Because that was the main reason also why you got in 30 Under 30. More of that after the break. Hey, hustlers. Let's talk about something really important real quick. Something that a lot of you I know can relate to, especially if you're running a business. And I'm talking about payroll. You know how hard it is and time consuming this is, especially that you have to do it twice a month. And as a guy who's been running tech startups for over 10 years now, this is something that I did not enjoy doing at all. It's not like it's because I don't like paying my employees. No, but it's already hard looking for funding to fund for your payroll, and then it's so much more harder if you're doing this manually. Luckily, I've found something that I highly recommend that you try, and it's from our friends from Payroll Hero. And here's how Payroll Hero works. They use your employee's face as your primary biometric to avoid buddy punching and ghost employees. So unless your team can figure out a way to swap each other's faces, tracking time and performance will never be your problem again. Payroll Hero is also very consumer friendly because it's also based on web and mobile, and it's also cloud-based, so you never have to worry about your clunky old biometric machines. So now you can automate time, attendance, scheduling, HRIS, and a payroll platform wrapped all in one. We have a very special bonus for you hustlers listening on the Hustle Share podcast. All you need to do is go to www.payrollhero.ph and use the promo code HustleShare to get a 60-day free trial. That's technically 4 payrolls that you can do all for free, so you can see how it works for you. And the beauty about it is there's no upfront payment needed to do this. So never worry about payroll again. With Payroll Hero, optimizing work productivity with happiness. And we're back from the break. We're still with 30 under 30. George Carlos. George, how you doing so far here? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good.
So I was prior to the break, or during the break, we were talking about we did 15 minutes already. It's like what?
I know it was so fast. I was like,
True.
really?
You'll never notice it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So George, quick question before
Sure.
we talk about Fetch. MyOffice is big. However, there's also a lot of competition.
Yes, definitely.
And it's hard to coexist when there's a lot of supply and demand is also wavering. It comes in and out and whatnot. What were your challenges, at least with MyOffice, when you started when we started doing this? Because you've been doing this for a while. You said 2014, 2015.
It's 2019 already. So yeah.
4 years in.
Yeah.
It's not easy to
Yeah.
survive that long and still slug it out. What were your challenges in doing this?
Well, I think the first challenge really was making people understand.
Okay.
Because when at first I tried to explain what we do, they're
Sure.
either, oh, you're like Regis or you're like A Space. Shout out to Matt.
Yeah.
Hi, Matt.
Matt
We're good. yeah, but-
Motorman Rithus.
There you go.
Side note, I thought for like a good 2 years span, that was his real name.
Really?
I was like, hey, Motorman. I was like, what?
And he never corrected you. He was
no.
just like,
He's
hi.
like, yeah, sup.
It's me, it's
flashing
me.
this big smile.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, man. I really thought it was really Motorman.
It's on his Facebook. Anyway, but yeah, so it was really trying to explain that, yes, we're under the same umbrella, of shared office space, but we focused on this. So really finding a way to communicate what makes us different.
And that's always a challenge of something that's very new. Because aside from marketing, you have to evangelize. Again, I had that same thing with chatbots where people didn't understand what the hell I'm actually trying to do. Until now, actually, oh, what is it? It's the autoresponder. Like, no, it's not the autoresponder. What the fuck, right?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I'm just flashing. No, it's like Siri. But, Siri, Siri. But it doesn't talk. It just chats with you and put it in your Facebook page. So it's still an autoresponder. Like, no, right? So, okay, for you, how did you overcome that? Because it takes time and a lot of repetition sometimes before you can break through, right? What were your persistent story? Like, no, fuck it, I'm gonna go. Like, you gotta get this. What was your at least what were those instances where you like, shit, I gotta pull through?
Oh gosh. Honestly, one part was like pride.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't let my mom down because she
There.
gave it to me,
Yeah.
right? She gave the business to me, and it's like, oh, nakakahiya. Like, that's
Yeah,
so
right,
embarrassing.
right.
Like, I was just like given this and like, oh, I fucked up. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
So definitely pride. And I think it was just, there were people who signed up,
Okay.
but they stayed. They
That's
stayed.
that's very, very hard
and
to do,
they
right?
stayed and they would help be my evangelizers. Like they would bring in people.
Referrals
Yeah,
and
referrals,
whatnot,
right?
right.
So it's working. I'm just not communicating it right. And I think what helped was one
Okay.
time I found a way to communicate it locally.
Okay.
If you Google MyOffice Philippines, we had a series of articles that was picked up. We were called the Tingi style office.
Nice.
Like people can literally pay, like, I just need someone to answer my calls.
So this is your PR afterlife or your
Yeah,
free
that's
life
where
at
it
work.
came in.
Yeah,
I'm like,
okay.
oh, good thing I stayed in the
Yes.
agency for 2.5 years.
No, because
you know?
your previous hustles will always contribute to your current
Yes,
hustle. It's a
definitely.
ladder that you build, right? Now, George, it's hard because I mean, you did not have like management style or any type of business background, right?
Not at all.
Yeah. How did you educate yourself to this thing? I mean, there's a lot of meetups and whatnot, but what are those things that you took in order to get there?
Two things. One, maybe it's my psych major, like coming in. I really listen.
Okay.
I've gone through all the Kickstart events, the Geeks in the Beach.
Yeah.
You know, I really try to talk to. At that time, I was like, oh, these are the superstars. Make sure I go to them, I talk to them,
Got it.
I ask how they did things. You know, random opinions. Even the small things I end up picking up. There's one time I went to an event during, I think, Startup Week,
Okay.
and Brian Tenorio was the speaker for design.
Okay.
And I was just like, you're design expert branding. I have this other branch. I don't know how to communicate it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to name it.
Yeah.
Because it's right now, it's our budget brand. And right now, people understand it. And
Okay.
he's like, in let's say, for example, Philippine Airlines, at
Sure.
the time, they had like the Express type or something,
right.
like the budget
Pal
airline.
Express, right.
Yeah, Pal Express. You can just rename yours something similar to that. I'm like, oh, that's so smart. Like, we had
Right.
just a 30-minute conversation, but that little tidbit that when he gave that example,
So you were a sponge.
I
by
was
default.
listening to every single thing that I could, and I would
Correct.
see, like, I would try to just test it out. Oh, it didn't work, and then
Okay.
like try
Pivot,
something
pivot,
out.
pivot, and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. So I was really listening to people.
But when you started, you were a one-man team. Who were the key people that helped you grow into this thing now? Especially if you're starting out, you had no prior business. Well, I a lot of stuff that I took up entrepreneurship, but a lot of what I studied because they were teaching us how to like create food carts. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not trying to do. I'm no disrespect to those people that have food carts, but you know what? Here's what I always said back in college. Like, you know what? We're studying entrepreneurship here. No disrespect again to people doing food carts. But if I'm studying here to try to replicate the vendor outside the gates, there's something fundamentally wrong with that.
Yeah.
Right? Because we can do better than that to uplift more people like that. Create better jobs and whatnot. Not just a quick bang for a buck or whatnot. Right? For you, George, how did you surround yourself with the right system or right people? Because we all know this. At the start, it's going to be you. But eventually, you'll need the Avengers around you and
Yeah,
whatnot
yeah, definitely.
to carry on the battle with Thanos, right? So, who were the key hires, I guess, that you did to make that happen?
Okay, I guess for my office, the key hires.
Yeah.
One is Edna. She's still with us.
Edna,
really.
shout out to you. I don't know where
Yeah,
you are,
she's somewhere
but-
there at the front.
Okay.
She has this skill to really pull out the information you need from their customers.
Mm.
You know, she has that good customer relationship
Yeah,
thing going
people
on.
skills.
People skills, but she's able to get valuable data from them. You know, so she's really, really good at that.
Right. So
You
it's a
know?
warm lead after she's been able to like qualify that person,
Yeah.
whatever it is and whatnot.
So like maybe they sign up, and then later on, like not the entire duration the client's the person's a client.
Right.
She's able to get a lot of different
Nice.
information.
It's
Really.
important to have that type of person that's there because it starts with them.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the production line or the rest of the machinery doesn't function if the front is weak.
Yeah.
Right. So, George, let's start now with MyOffice. Let's wrap
Yes.
this up. Now, how did Fetch
Happen.
Because
We made
again,
Fetch happen.
Yeah, Fetch is not the app. Okay, that's not the Valet app.
There's one
right?
time I talked to Martin, and we both, I guess, I don't remember the exact conversation, but if you like check our sites and everything, our Facebook, he is Fetch Valet. I'm Fetch Naturals.
No, because I was like Fetch in 30 years. Like Martin is not 30. No, right? He's a baby face. But
Yeah,
hell no,
he is,
he's
he
not
is.
30.
I'm like,
Under
yeah.
30, definitely.
So it was
Yeah.
a really funny thing. I think we hung out in one of RT Bitspace things.
Poblacion, that's his hometown.
Yeah, well, they're always in Poblacion.
Yeah.
Basta we met up and we're like, fetch. And it was
Fetch
nice.
on Fetch Cran.
Yeah, it was nice because I think so far, at least majority of the people I meet in the startup community are still like pretty collaborative about things, or at least open. Like, okay, you're Fetch, I'm Fetch. In fact, I even tried to pitch this idea to Martin, which never pushed through.
Okay.
In the beginning of Fetch Naturals, we were selling in Legazpi Sunday Market. And they had a parking problem.
There you go.
And then I was like, I know the organizers since I deal with them all the time. Why not you do the valet for them? Yeah. And I have 4 dogs and they have outfits.
4 dogs?
I have 4
So it's not just called Drogo. Do you have the dragons too?
Yeah.
The Syrian, Drogon, and what's the other guy's name? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the one that turned into
Rhaegal,
or something. Yeah. And I was like, I'll lend you my dogs, and they have like valet outfits.
Aww.
Like, isn't that a cute collab, but never pushed through. So
Martin, if you're listening now, I know you're busy with grab wheels.
Congratulations.
But I wanna steal one of those. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not one of those.
They seem like so fun, like going around.
No, it is, but the problem here is, number one, you gotta recharge that. So I've seen that happen a lot in San Francisco. Apparently, there's actually a job there now that basically all those
they pick up, right?
Yeah, they haul it overnight. They park it. I mean, they charge it overnight. They get paid dollars.
Get paid, yeah.
And then they put it right back.
Same thing in LA.
Yeah,
I'm walking around like there's random like scooters like
lying
on
the
ground.
like, oh shit, what happened here?
Yeah.
Like a dystopian future thing. So all right, going back, George, how did you come up with Fetch? And it's hard to run 2 startups. Like right now, it's an adjustment for me doing Hustle Share, but it's very symbiotic to what I do in Chatbot PH. How did you start with Fetch?
First of all, I'm really lucky that by that time, MyOffice has like a pretty good team to keep things going. So I can just like, like watch out for things. With Fetch, I grew up with dogs. I love dogs. And the original idea actually of Fetch was to be an e-commerce site for pet stuff. In the Philippines, I think we only have one, which is Pet Warehouse.
Or Pet Discount even, or whatnot, right?
Yeah, but
I'm a cat person, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the thing with cat people, there's only 2 things that you buy all the time. It's cat food and cat litter.
But how about the fun things, the jungle things, the gym?
The thing with cats is you gotta buy them shit, but you know what they like the most?
The
boxes. So like
the box and the bowl because they're liquid, right?
Right. So that's it. Or anything feathery.
Yeah.
They'll scratch the hell out of that.
I don't have cats because my dad's deathly allergic to cats.
Oh, okay. But I'm a cat person, so that's it. It's fun because they're independent and whatnot. I've said this in one episode, I think with James, that I'm the most unlikely cat dude you'll ever find.
Like you have a small cat, like just on your shoulders. Like
no, I just pet them. Even this is how much of a cat person I am. There's a random cat in the street. I don't care what you think of me. I'm a grown ass man. I look like a bouncer sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like.
I hear that in the street. I'm like, oh,
dude, that's Ron again.
You're on somewhere here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay.
sorry. Back to that.
So,
I tried the e-commerce site, but I think at that time the pet industry, which is still new right now, but has not reached that level of Who's Your Pupper Senpai Facebook groups, where people are like showing like the doggo meme things, the language, the doggo language. So, and it's difficult. Like props to those who set up like marketplaces.
Yes.
It is difficult. You have to supply good products that people are willing to buy. You have to attract the customers, so you get the suppliers to sign up with you, the logistics of it, the inventory. It was a nightmare. So that didn't work out.
Yeah.
That was around early 2016.
Okay.
And
but then you pivoted.
I did.
Okay.
Mid 2016, Drogo, the Bichon.
Okay.
Not the character.
Okay. All right. I thought it's like, okay, all right.
Okay.
You're the Khaleesi. I didn't know that. All right.
Drogo, is a very sensitive, needy dog.
Okay.
And he was getting like these skin allergies all the time. And I'm like trying out all these different products. I read online, whether it's medicated or not medicated. And he literally lived with a cone of shame for a year.
Dude,
yeah, it was so sad. And I'm like, you're my baby, right?
Yeah.
So that was bad. And then I discovered Neem through my boyfriend because he would import products. He also has his own business. He would import products. And one of the products he was testing out was neem oil.
Got it.
And I'm like, what is this neem? I started researching. It's an Italian brand that he brought in.
Right.
Apparently, neem grows in the Philippines.
Yeah, neem trees.
Yeah, neem trees.
I remember we planted that during grade school because it kind of repels mosquitoes, they said.
Yeah.
Right.
In fact, one of the early studies that they did on neem was they're very abundant in India. There was like a plague of sorts. So every vegetation at that year was gone except for the neem tree.
Wow. So it's a resilient plant.
All the bugs were like on the tree, but they weren't eating the tree.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, and then I started like looking through my network, like who can help me, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And then I found this guy, chemist,
Okay, a chemist.
A chemist.
It's not Walter White.
No.
Okay, all right, cool.
Fact
Just to
check,
make sure.
Fact check.
All right.
Also because I met him because he makes human shampoo for my tita. Well, you know how it is in the Philippines. You find networks, everyone's connected, right? And I'm like, okay, can we make this a pet product? So we work together. He's the chemist, I'm the pet lover, and we talk to vets and everything. And then we came up with a bunch of prototypes. Had a vet test it.
Yeah.
To make sure, because we don't test on animals.
Right. Like shampoos and whatnot. Is that?
Yeah. So we had him test it. And for even greater measure, we're like, you know what? There's no regulation here in the Philippines for pet care.
True. But that doesn't mean you're gonna.
Yeah. So we're like, if we
right?
start the trend, maybe it will make there will be regulation. So we went to the FDA. Hey, we have this, etc., etc. FDA, after a process, FDA was
so you went FDA first before you went to market.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Right. Because some people go to
market
first before FDA. Because it's not cheap as well.
It is not cheap, but a lot of the natural products you see on stores, a lot of them are like backyard brands, which props to you. If you're doing it, but you want to make sure. Like, I don't want to just put the label without having the certification to back it up, right?
Sure.
And then when FDA was like, you guys are legit, like, here's the...
What's that process like? If you want to be FDA approved, right? I mean, aside from the cost, just shed some light on that. What do you need to do in order for you to be FDA approved?
They will check your facilities, definitely.
So you need to have like a proper production place per se?
Yeah, so you have a proper production place. So the production place is in Fairview.
Okay, Fairview.
Very far.
Yeah.
I'm in Makati.
That's north of the wall. That's where the what's this? Forgot the ones. It's been 2 seasons. My Game of Thrones shit. Like the guys, the crows.
Yeah. There you go.
Forgot
so
already.
it's behind
the Jon
the
Snow
wall.
crew, right?
You know, the White Walkers, everything.
Yes.
And then at the same time, they need a proper tolling place.
Right.
Good thing the DOST. Fun fact, guys, DOST, you can like pay per use type of thing if you can't afford your own tolling place. So,
what is a tolling place?
Like, it's the area where it's all sanitized and they put the items in the bottle.
Shoot.
I mean, it's not gonna be safe or hygienic. You're like literally pouring the product in each bottle, right?
Okay.
So you have that. Those are the important parts. And the ingredients.
Okay.
The ingredients, you have to be very transparent about the ingredients.
Okay.
At the same time, products need to have stabilizers. And if you want it to be natural, you can only use certain stabilizers. No parabens, no things like that.
I have no idea what that means, but it sounds scientific to me. But okay, cool, paraben.
Yeah. You learn all this. You learn all those things.
Wow, and you did this like on the fly too while you were doing this as well.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight, guys, don't fully copy me because sometimes you need to do your market research.
No, absolutely,
first.
yeah. The hustle share is like, you learn and you make it work for you. Don't do it verbatim.
Yeah,
right. So
exactly. I was just lucky that I guess there are a lot of Filipinos who are like me, willing to spend for their animals. So yeah, we launched. So that was 2016. Our first batch of products came in March 1, 2017.
There you go. Specific date. All right.
Because, and then it was, we introduced our set of neem products. So that's neem shampoo, leave-on rinse, neem house cleaner,
Right.
all biodegradable, etc., etc. And people really responded to it.
Nice.
That was great. Online, it's really online was the starting point.
True. And what channel do you guys? Instagram or?
In the beginning, it was just Facebook and Instagram and a website.
Okay.
Now though we're supplying to physical stores, we're
Wow.
supplying online as well.
I read an article in 30 over 30 that under 30, sorry, over 30, what the fuck, right?
Eventually, I will be. So.
Yeah, so is there even a list of 30 over 30?
It's like everyone else.
Right. How did you scale from early traction to 30 location? Are these they call, I remember my queen saying is stockists or is it real physical locations that you own?
So we distribute to different locations. So
Okay.
we don't own
Okay.
all of those
So
locations.
they're retailers per se.
Yes, they're
Okay.
retailers, but they're also outside Metro Manila. That was really hard, little physical work. Okay, so in the beginning, retail space is very competitive, and it's
Super.
an old industry.
Yep.
Right. So I was literally like carrying bags of shampoo, going to the head office.
How was your immune system back then? It was like, or it was holding in, not
It
like.
was.
Okay, all right.
I was taking my vitamin C every morning,
Okay.
shit like that, like Baraka, you know.
Shout out to Baroka. You're not paying me for this, but
Baraka,
okay.
you should. All the entrepreneurs need you. Okay.
Yes, I have one here in my bag actually.
We always have in every branch of my office,
Yeah,
you know.
you
Someone's
never
like
know.
sneezing, like Baraka,
Baraka,
you know,
you're-
things like that.
So
I
you
was
had to go through the 30 locations. Did you go through all of them?
most of them, yeah.
Oh my God.
Because you would think like people are into email, right? You
Right,
know, it's
right.
easier and I'll just send you courier my products. No, some of them are very traditional, but they own the space. They own the real estate. You know,
Got it.
that's what you're after. So I was like, okay, I'm going to their headquarters, which is in like what province, you know.
Wow.
Here are my products.
How
my
far
pro-
was the farthest one you've gone to, or a random place like I don't know, Misamis Oriental or no? What?
no naman.
Okay,
no
what,
naman.
but more urban town centric.
Yeah, more urban town centric.
What's the farthest you've gone through?
Well, if you want farthest, the farthest was San Francisco.
Ooh, there you go. Other side of the Pacific.
You know?
PST. Wow.
Yeah, so I did that. Thankfully, a lot of them are responsive to
Right.
emails and
Yeah.
things like that. But yeah, I had to do that, give you a bunch of samples of my products. I've been turned down numerous times also. But yeah, I did that. At the same time, I thought of the Petpreneur program.
Petpreneur.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that was my answer to the provincials, the far-flung provincial
Got
areas. Basically, you are a person with a dog or a cat. You
Yep.
want to earn like an extra side hustle.
True.
You can buy my products really, really, really cheap in bulk. I provide you all the marketing materials. I am like your on-call mentor.
Wow.
So for example, I have this one guy who is from Pampanga.
Okay.
Since he is my petpreneur in Pampanga, I will no longer accept a petpreneur from Pampanga.
You lock him in.
I lock him in.
Yeah.
At the same time, I will not actively pursue the pet stores in Pampanga because that is his
That's
way of
correct.
earning.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
predatory towards each other. if
Exactly.
yeah.
So I also become like an on-call mentor for
Got
them.
it.
Like, hey, I'm having a hard time with this person, or like maybe, and they also give me suggestions like this new product is not resonating well.
right.
So it becomes a two-way thing,
Yeah.
and at the same time, I'm helping them earn more money.
How do you get those people to reach out to you? Because I mean, retailing is already a hard
Mm-hmm.
hustle to do, but more on getting more evangelizers on the ground. It's a different thing. That's your like campaigning. It's borderline politics already, right? How do you get those?
Oh God, I think it's like a mixture of luck and charm.
There you go. So
yeah.
the people skills again. It's your guidance counseling skill.
Maybe. And I think end of the day, no matter where you are, it's the relationships that matter, and you never know how those relationships can be something else in the future. I mean, not to be user sounding, but you know, like eventually you can help other people and they can help you, right? So the first petpreneur actually was a client and kept on like telling me, you know, like, hey, I told my friend to try this, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, why don't we work together, find a way to work together? It kind of evolved into an official program under Fetch,
Sure.
which is how we were able to distribute all the way to like
How many
Davao.
petpreneurs do you guys have now?
Right now, I have around 10.
Holy gosh!
Yeah.
Wow, that is cool.
I have
Now, George,
around
before
10.
I get too carried away, we
Sure.
need to take a quick break so
Go.
that we can pay our sponsors real quick, or we need to pay the bills.
Yeah.
But when we come back now, let's talk about the real grind. Because
Okay.
we're talking about 30 under fucking 30. How does one get to 30 under 30? More of that after the break.
Effective automation is the best way for businesses to stay competitive. And having a chatbot for your business lets you easily automate and optimize sales, marketing, and customer service in the digital age. Chatbot PH will build, train, maintain, and market your chatbot across all messaging platforms. Our team uses the latest AI technologies to enable you to better serve customers 24/7, 365. Set a meeting with us today. Message us now at m.me/chatbotph.
And we're back for the final part of the Hustle Share podcast with
Yay.
our big winner.
I feel like I won like $1 million or something.
No, but dude, respect where respect is due.
Thank you.
30 under 30. And that's what we're going to be talking this part now. Again, we said in the start of the episode, it's not easy to make it to this very prestigious list, let alone his fucking Forbes Magazine. Right?
Yeah.
How does one, or let's just walk us through. Was
Okay.
this intentional at all? Because here's what I know.
Uh-huh.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
You can't just nominate yourself like, hey, I deserve to be a 30 under 30 and whatnot, right? You need to be nominated by someone,
Mm-hmm.
and then they got to vet for it. And there's going to be series of whatever before they do the list.
Well, technically, you can nominate yourself just
Okay.
because when they release a nomination form,
Sure.
it's literally a form and it says
Okay.
there like nominate yourself or
Okay.
not. But with regards to me, the backstory to that is I have this friend, Ben,
Okay.
of First Circle. Hi, First Circle.
Ben, First Circle,
Yeah.
shout out. I haven't met them. I'd like to meet
Oh,
them.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, right.
One of their president or... That's Edna. Hi, Edna. Okay, so their president actually was last year's 30 under 30.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was like, hey, George, like, what you're doing is great. I guess it's good to have people who believe in
Right,
yourself
right.
and they're like, like they're pushing
Right.
you to these things. So he'd be sending me links like, hey, apply to this or ask someone to nominate you here or can
Wow.
I nominate you here?
Wow.
Thank you very much. So he would send me all these links and he's like, you have nothing to lose. He kept on saying that to
True,
me. You have
true.
nothing to lose.
And him being there before, he kind of opens up a lot more doors because this was just a
Yeah.
recent list. The ones that came before you were the Gian Havelonas of the
Yeah.
world, the Val Balases. Ones that I know is Shahab.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He was, I think, 2015 or something.
Right, right. Their
Yeah.
whole life changed. So again, I'm very fortunate because I still get the low key George because you're gonna be way up there and I'm very fortunate you spent time. But I know for a fact that you're gonna be helping a lot of entrepreneurs moving forward as well. So George, how did that start for you guys, or how did you become nominated after Ben gave you all these links?
I think, backstory first, like
Right.
Ben nominated Patrick, who is the founder of First Circle. So
Okay.
he would send me all these links, and then he would also ask me like, hey, why don't you nominate yourself or ask someone to nominate you?
Okay.
So I asked a friend like, hey, my friend's making me kulit. Can you
Wow.
like nominate me here? 'Cause it feels kind of weird to nominate yourself. I mean, no shame, whatever.
No,
Do
but
it.
you have nothing to lose either.
He kept on
right?
saying that. You have nothing to
Right.
lose. And aside from that, I was also applying to a lot of other things like this Cartier
Wow.
women's thing, which I didn't get in.
Right.
This other Asian women's thing, which I didn't get in.
Right.
But yeah, so I was nominated. That was around October of last year.
Yeah.
And then I forgot about it because it was Christmas season. I was
Yeah,
busy
like who thinks about shit during the
Yeah.
Burr months, right?
You
It's
know,
our grind. Plus, it's also you're probably super busy with selling shit too.
It's our peak season, you
Yeah.
know, because apparently people want to gift people pet stuff.
Pet stuff,
So then December, I got an email from one of the writers, I think, of
Okay,
Forbes,
there
and they
you go.
had a bunch of questions, right?
Okay,
The email.
all
So they're
right.
asking me. It was like a mix of further additional information plus fact checking.
Okay.
So I was answering it like, hey, is it true that your products are FDA registered? Your products are made out of this, blah, blah. What
Okay.
else do you do aside from, fetch,
Okay.
experience? So, I answered all those emails. That was
Sure.
December. January, I got an email from the editor, the one who released the
January,
article.
just this year, wow.
Just this year. She's like, hey, you're one of like the semi-finalist or
Holy
something
shit.
like that.
How was that like when it was you? You get like, holy. What was you? What were you feeling when you got that?
It was a mix of holy shit, is this real? At the same time, really, I just sell dog shampoo. Like, it was kind of weird because I know the past winners. If you look at all the past winners, they're either like in their first year they made 50 million pesos, know,
Sure.
or like they make salt powered lamps. I mean, it's
Right,
just
right.
amazing things, right?
No, but again, it
You
doesn't matter what you do, but it's I guess the impact.
yeah.
The fact that you're selling organic, natural shampoo
Mm-hmm.
for pets that we love, and we all love pets, especially dogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's crazy, and especially if you're using neem trees where people don't even realize that they're valuable.
Yeah, in the
So good luck
provinces,
to all the
they
neem
just
trees. You're
yeah,
gonna be
guys, we
rich,
can use them. No, because fun fact, in the provinces, since
Right.
they grow so big and so fast.
Super. I've seen one. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's more like a palm tree-ish leaves.
Do you
I
know
still
that
remember.
where
And they have a scent to them.
yeah, they have a scent
Yeah.
to them. In the provinces, sometimes they don't know what to do with it. They just cut it down because it destroys the roads.
True.
Yeah, they grow that big. But yeah, so that was like January.
Yeah.
I told Ben like, hey, I got this email.
Holy
It was further questions,
Yeah,
and they had
yeah.
a link.
Right.
So this one they asked really more for the financials
Right.
of it. I guess to see the growth. At the same time, if there were any media features, things like that. So I answered all of those questions, sent them links to the media features that Fetch was in,
Okay.
including like I think screenshots also at the same
Yeah, yeah.
time. Sent them. They answered all the financial questions. They asked like initial investment,
Right.
income year 1, year 2, etc., etc.
Right.
Sent it and just waited. you know.
Okay. So again, you
Yeah.
had no idea.
You have no idea.
Were you like, all right, I smell it. I'm gonna get to this list, or you were just like, yeah, whatever.
Honestly, I didn't expect it because one, at least from my point of view,
Okay.
it's a product that technically has existed before. Dog products, pet
Sure,
products,
sure.
right? I mean, pet shampoo, pet whatever has existed for years. I
Sure.
didn't expect anything. At the same time, like, you kind of can't help it. You want to see the past winners. And they're
Right.
like, oh my God, they got funded in like seed something round,
Right,
you
right.
know? And they're like, oh my God, they have so much money.
Right.
I mean, past 30 under 30
Right.
are like Canva, right?
Yeah.
Or like Snapchat.
True.
How can you compete?
But that's in the U.S. In the
yeah, it's in the US. But okay, fine. In the Philippines, I mean, like look at Shahab. Like
Right.
he's amazing. I don't know how he did it.
No, but look at this. What I see here is humility. At the end of the day, this list validates what your hustle was and then whatnot. But you know what? I'm pretty sure a lot of those people that made it to the list would probably echo what you say right now. You know what? I'm just this. Well, look at them. But in reality,
Yeah, maybe.
you got there through your own merit.
It's so funny
Yeah.
though because the list was released yesterday morning. And my
Right.
first thought was, is it April 1? Oh, it's April 2. Because like the timing
Right,
was like,
right.
what day is it? Is it April 1? Is this a joke,
April
right?
Fools.
You know, like, is it really Forbes.com? Is it
Right.
like Forbes.com/something? You know, like, it could be a different
So they
website.
never gave you a heads up prior to the release.
They sent an email yesterday morning, same time that it was released.
Wow.
I only knew it was out because I got an email when I finally checked my email, right?
Okay.
They're like, hi, congratulations.
What was the so you were like freaking out.
I was freaking out. I was
Not low-key freaking out like holy shit. Like no, like were you shouting? No. What was the feeling when you saw
like,
that?
okay, I saw it through my phone. I was like, is this legit? And I was reading it so many times.
wow. Okay.
I even checked the email, right? I checked
Right,
the
right,
email.
right.
I saw her name and I fact checked online that it was really her as the, like, you know.
Wow.
the-
So you
the
weren't
person.
being punked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I screenshot the email and I'm keeping it forever.
Oh my
you know,
God.
and it was like I sent it to mom, to my boyfriend, to everyone.
There you go.
Before
To Drogo.
to Drogo, there
There
you
you
go.
go.
I think he's the only dog on Forbes
Wow.
on 30 under 30 because part of one of the questions I got for January
Right,
was
right.
if I'm going to be considered or if I'll be chosen
Yeah.
to send 3 profile photos.
Aw.
And I'm like, for fun, let's send one with my dog.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay, so yeah, it was there. And then that's the photo they chose.
Wow.
And then, and then I found the link and I was just like, half fangirling, half like,
Oh,
what is going on? So
shit.
it was crazy. And it's really nice because people were so supportive also after that in the morning. So.
Fist bump. You
Thank
deserve
you.
this. Congratulations again. Now, what's next? So, again, I've seen this happen with a lot of them dudes that have made it to the list. You're going to probably have an event to highlight this. So, you're going to be very busy, right?
Yeah.
But before we even get to that, I'm pretty sure, while you're still not packed as fuck at the moment, how... what's up your sleeve? At least with Fetch, what do you want to do? Because that's gonna bring you a lot of business for sure.
I hope so.
Right, it will.
I'm being
Yeah.
honest. I hope so.
Yeah. How would you want to capitalize, or where do you want to take Fetch now? I mean, you're in 30 locations, not just in the Philippines, but also in the States. What's your vision now? Are you gonna focus more on Fetch or both MyOffice and Fetch?
Definitely, I'm focusing also on MyOffice. That's why I'm having a meeting with Carlo later because we're doing some collab thing for MyOffice. For Fetch, I'm actually focusing more on online for the US. We are actually already listed on Amazon.
Wow.
First to know.
There you go.
We're listed on Amazon right now. We're just really waiting for
Giving Jeff Bezos that money.
Yeah, actually,
From Drogo.
helping you earn more money. So
Yeah.
we're actually just waiting for the logistics of it. It's already there,
Sure.
and the site, the listings already up. Just waiting for it to reach the warehouse.
Okay.
So hopefully we get feedback in the U.S. market. How will a Philippine product that's for pet care will
Dude.
resonate to the
Dude. Uh-huh.
U.S. So hopefully that's a way to test it there.
That's gonna fly. That's
hope
you,
so.
You need to triple up your game for sure. Very soon. I'm
I hope
excited
so.
for that.
And I'm launching 2 new products by May.
Wow. See, there you go. If you're a dog and you're listening to this, just bark your way up.
Yes.
All right.
Hey,
now,
safe for cats too.
oh yeah. Oh, cats. All right. There
Yeah.
you go. That I love it. But cats don't like to be bathed.
That's true.
No, they
don't.
they bathe themselves.
That's why we have a leave-on rinse. You just spray it when they're really, really smelly, and it's non-toxic if they lick it.
Well, here's the thing. If
Yeah.
cats smell, at least from what I observed,
Mm-hmm.
they only smell when they don't have a proper litter box. Because technically they sit on their pee and do
Yeah.
all this nasty stuff. But they have a proper litter box. They are the cleanest mammals in the world. Because they don't even like the smell. They cover it
Yeah,
and whatnot.
but they don't really like wash their butts after they do their shit, right?
They lick it.
Right? And then they lick your face with love after, or the more of dogs. But a little bit of they
Not
lick their
much. Depends
they
on
lick
the
their
cat.
bodies. So if you're really finicky about like bacteria,
right,
that's
right.
where it comes in.
No, you know what? I'll just tell my cat, like, yo, you lick me, I'm going to lick you back, bro.
I have germs in my mouth too.
Yeah, I'm like, it's gonna be a licking fest, right? No, but George, let's just before we end the program, because I know you're busy and you have a couple more meetings, and you're gonna be change your life's gonna change now. What's your tip with people who are starting out with their own business in terms of like creating like something like Fetch, the products? What would be your tip for those people who want to pursue this, even if their market that does not exist? Because when you started this, it does not exist, at least in the organic side of things, right? How would you advise them to push forward?
Well, 2 things. One is really embrace the unglamorous side of it.
Okay.
I mean, sure, you see me now, like I'm dressed up. You see me
Yep.
on the Forbes 30, right?
Yep.
But you did not see me at like 2 a.m. when I couldn't hire someone to package these things for online deliveries the next day.
Sure.
I was literally like on the floor, like
Yeah.
wrapping them up, stuff like that.
My
It's
queen
really
is doing that at the moment, but I keep telling her, just
Yeah.
keep pushing. You'll get there. Right?
So that's part of the unglamorous side. Unglamorous side, there are so many stores that I supply in now that said no multiple times in the beginning.
You persisted.
And yeah, I give them like a bit of a break and then like, hey, here's an update. Can you consider again?
Wow.
Things like that. Because maybe the initial time I presented it, there was something wrong there that didn't resonate with them,
Okay.
you know? So yeah, a lot of those unglamorous side because people only see they're speaking on whatever,
Okay.
right? Or they're finally earning, but they don't see all the ugly things that
no.
that they
we're,
that
we're
we had
dressed
to
in
do.
dirt and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Nim extract and whatnot.
Yeah. So
right?
and then part of that also is not being afraid to like pivot. I mean,
Okay.
some people are so stuck in an idea.
Sure.
It's
They fall
not
in love
gonna-
with it like it's fucking gold or whatnot, right?
Yeah. Another thing that really helped was I wasn't afraid to ask for help.
Okay.
You can ask everyone from Ben to Carlo. Like, I have the most random question. I text them, I know you're so busy, but can you give me your thoughts on this?
Wow.
I was just asking everyone, like, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on this?
Sure.
So I get insight or feedback from that. Yeah. And that's how I learn. I never took up management, but there are so many other people who have the experience or the expertise.
Absolutely.
You just kind of pick it
And
from
you just
there.
surrounded yourself in there just one text away.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid, because most of the time we always get really scared. Like, you know what? Maybe they're busy. They won't have the time. But
A
in
lot
reality,
of people are nahihiya. Don't be. No shame.
fuck it.
Just
You
go
have
for
nothing
it.
to lose.
There you
if
go.
they
You
don't
have nothing
reply,
to
then
lose.
okay, fuck it. Fine. I'll
You
look
look for someone else. Yeah.
True. Okay, George, unfortunately, I know you're going to be busy. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having
me. But if they do
me.
want to reach out to you, how do they, I know you're going to be very busy, how do they get in touch with Fetch, and how do they, if they want to inquire about carrying your products and buying products for their doggos and whatnot, or cattos, or no? No, we call it our overlords. Cats,
Overlords,
Yeah,
okay.
because cats own humans.
Yes.
They
They are the true gods.
Yes, absolutely. That's why there's the Sphinx and whatnot.
Yeah.
They're a deity. Anyway, how do they get in touch with you, and how do they get their new Fetch products?
Sure. So if you want to get in touch with me, just email hello@fetchnaturals.com.
Okay.
Our website is www.fetchnaturals.com.
There you go. Thank you again, George.
Thank
So-
you for having me.
No problem. And again, congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
enjoy the life at 30 and 30. All right. Now, that's been for us with Hustle Share. If you like this episode, please don't forget to subscribe and follow us in your favorite podcast app. Also, please give us a rating so that we get your feedback over what we're doing, if we're even doing this, right? And if you have any other hustler that you want to suggest on the show, please don't forget to message us on the messenger. Just look for Hustle Share or go to m.me/Hustle Share, powered by Chatbot PH. It has been me and George, and again, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.